Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist.
Appreciate you, Coach. One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport. Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw, Newton. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain.
Hey, 25 to the mic.
Alert, 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 alert. Man,
Keep it up.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Hey, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands.
And I think the ball's out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
20.
Now on 2nd and 13. Newton. And some room to run now. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
This is Cullen, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And for a second straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And this one is right through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down here after an interception on their opening drive led to a field goal, but all in all, you'd have to say fortunate to be only down 6.
Yeah, you know how teams huddle on the sideline before they come out on the field in between series? Guaranteed what's said there is, guess what, guys? We take this ball, move it downfield, put it in the end zone, we're right back to even.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Gun.
Now Newton. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after 1.
Set. Ready. Gun.
94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. You better break. I'm letting you know right now. You better break. 94.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
They'll run forward to Tariq Cohen. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And his kick is indeed good. And that will make our score 9-0. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You're talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Newton. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. Incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing is Newton. On the catch, it's Jarius Wright. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
56. Man, that's trash. That's trash. Kill.
First down, a run with Cohen. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now 3rd down and 6.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And, of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
20.
From the gun, here's Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Not today, you are. Not today.
20.
No.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Here's Newton. He's going to go for trying for right, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
He'll have a first down and more past the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards on the ground. So all of a sudden with that run, maybe now a chance for points here.
It's a total mind shift, isn't it? Because what you were saying before was, hey, let's just get out of here, get the half over with. Instead, we can get some points now.
They run. This is Cohen. Spinning away. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Play action. Now Trubisky. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Cohen looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Throwing here, Trubisky. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Newton. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
First down, Panthers.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run with McCaffrey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Not ready. Ready?
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Kill.
Gun. 20.
Switch.
Throwing on 3rd down. Newton. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, fighting his way into the backfield.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Now a hit and a loose football. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Chicago. In for the score as the Bears push further out in front. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass.
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. But I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Cohen. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On 3rd down, Trubisky being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. And his kick is good. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you say?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Leonard Floyd able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else. And look at this, Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Defense wins championships, baby.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
but
one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's at least
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Here we go. 94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. 8.
On 3rd down, Newton got a man, it's right. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Sean Davis that time on the tackle. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
McCaffrey breaks the tackle, now an alley. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Newton on first down. Oh, the spin. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On the ground, McCaffrey. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Newton. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Bears on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Cohen, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32.